Hello, everybody, and welcome to It's That Time, episode number 10 of the Traders Podcast here at Courage Pays Better Than Fear Trading. I am your grateful, humble, appreciative host, Jeremy Ritz. Very excited that you're back here with me for a brand new episode. And if you've been with me throughout this journey, I'm very excited to celebrate episode number 10 with all of you. And it is Make It Happen March. We're pursuing our big goals this month. I talked about that at the start of the month, and hopefully you're doing just that. And hopefully for everyone out there trading and investing in the markets, you are profitable, you are making that cash flow. And I'm excited about today's episode and sharing it with all of you today. So today, like we've been doing the last few weeks, we're going to have our Ask a Trader segment where I'm going to share the 3 questions that you asked me. I'm going to answer those for you today. We're going to continue our case study of ROKU. We looked at that last week. This is something that we're going to be doing into the summer. ROKU is a stock that's pretty beat up right now. We're just watching to see how it unfolds here over these next couple months. But today's topic is, how long does it take? And you might be saying, well, how long does what take? The question is, and this is what we're going to discuss, how long does it take to become a profitable trader / investor? We're going to get into that because that's one of the main questions that I always get. Well, how soon can I start making money? When can I start making money? And we're going to spend a lot of time going through that and why that's a complicated question. I'll share my story with you and some stories of people that I know who have become profitable traders. And we're going to dig into all that. And I'm excited to do that. But to get started, we are going to do the Ask a Trader segment, right? And we got to have a little bit of music here. All right, there we go. There's a little, I didn't serenade you. One day I'll sing here when I work up the confidence to do that. But this is the Ask a Trader segment. I wrote these down here, your questions that you sent over to me. The first one, what are your hobbies outside of trading? So a lot of people think all I do is trade. And while it's a big part of my day, I do have other things that I love to do. Number one being spending time with my kids, 3 young children. Obviously, that's first and foremost before stock trading. But I am a massive Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I do a podcast with Jim Wexell, a beat writer who's covered the Steelers since 1995. And I love everything Pittsburgh Steelers football. It's in the blood. My grandfather was a season ticket holder forever. And every Sunday in the fall, you know what I'll be doing. I don't watch TV the rest of the year, but come Sunday, you can be sure during the NFL season, I'm watching the Steelers. What else I like to do? I work out constantly. So with my newfound freedom being at home, I basically trade and lift and run all day. That's all I do, and study trading. So that's another hobby of mine, studying trading. And also I like to grow hot peppers. So I'm talking Carolina Reapers, ghost peppers, jalapenos, habaneros, cayennes. I actually just started out a new batch, so they're going right now. So those are some things that I like to do when I'm not trading. And yes, studying trading is one of those. Another question is, how do you shut it off? So related to the hobby piece, what I do outside of trading, how am I able to shut off my brain and not think about it? Well, that's something that I'm always wrestling with because it is difficult for me because I love this so much. I have to force myself to disconnect from it because I have the type of personality when I start doing something, I just want to do it and 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 do it. So I have to rein myself in. It takes a lot of discipline. I wouldn't say that I'm the most successful with that. It's a bit of an obsession, but a good obsession. So I'm working on that. I wouldn't say that I could successfully shut it off just yet. It's definitely a work in progress. And then finally, the next question, what do you enjoy trading most, stocks or options? And do you enjoy day trading or swing trading best? So that's a very good question. I'll start with the day or swing trading. So I'm a very impatient person. I have to consciously work and make an effort to be patient. So day trading is more suited to my personality. I like to be in and out of trades very quickly and then move on about my day, whatever it is that I'm going to do. And then in terms of trading stocks and options, I'm a better stock trader than I'm an options trader, but I'm really throwing myself into learning options even more, becoming an expert in that area, which I'm in the process of doing that. And really, my trading is shifting a bit to where I'm actually trading more options than I am trading stocks because options are way more profitable than shares, just to be completely candid. And there's a bit more risk involved, but that's one shift that I'm making in my trading, and very excited about that. And speaking of options, I'm going to be teaching a profitable options course coming up in April. I have that linked in the show notes if you're interested in signing up for that. But for anybody who doesn't know anything about options and wants to start learning that, sign up for this class. I'll walk you through the basics to help you understand how you can generate profits from the market by trading options. And the cool thing about trading options, you don't need the capital in order to trade them like you do with shares. So keep that in mind. If you're interested, go ahead, click that button, register for that. That is in the show notes below. Okay, so that's Ask a Trader. Today's topic, how long does it take? And I get this question all the time. And a lot of times it's asked with the anticipation of, you could start making money tomorrow. You can make $1 million. You can make $100,000. And sure, there may be those outliers out there who maybe just start trading and bang, they're nailing it. They're a prodigy. They have a unique knack for it. But I'm sorry to burst any bubbles out there, but it's going to take hard work. It's going to take commitment. It's going to take dedication. You're going to have to put time into this to learn it. And that's not what people want to hear. They want to hear that, hey, this is going to work quickly. This is a get rich quick opportunity. And it's not that. And if you can first process what it's going to take and give yourself a year, 6, 8 months, a year. Now, I know a lot of people are going to hear that and be like, man, that's a long, long time. But here's a question that I would ask you. Would you rather start making extra money or additional money or replace your job 1 year from now or never? There you go. So if you would start today studying, learning, taking classes, reading books, studying charts, taking practice trades, and if you work on that consistently, you can develop the ability to look at charts and to be able to trade profitably. And maybe it only takes you 6 months. Maybe it only takes you 8 months, or maybe it takes you a year. Maybe it takes you longer than that, right? The thing is it's going to be different for every person. Okay. For me, when I started out, I started trading real money right away. I had some wins right away, but I also had several losses. And there was a 3-month period where I was just getting my feet under me. I had no clue what the hell I was doing. I was just doing it and trying to learn on my own. And then I got a coach. And over time, steadily, slowly, I made progress. And every time I got knocked down, I got discouraged. I felt defeated, but I didn't quit. And that's going to be the important part, that you don't give up whenever you hit those low points, because they are going to come. But you have to push through that and think about, whenever you have a winning trade, what are you going to be doing 5 years from now if you stick with this? And I remember when I had my first $1,000 day trading, it occurred on a Carvana trade and maybe 1 or 2 other trades. And I just remember thinking to myself, wow, this is only month 6 of trading, and I made $1,000 in 1 day. And I remember just letting myself think out in advance. If I'm doing this now, and I've only been doing it 6 months, trading for 6 months, what's possible for me in 3 years, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 15 years? And that's what you have to allow yourself to consider, the what if. What if I stick with this? What is possible? And what's possible is unlimited. The markets are unlimited. I talked to you about $4 quadrillion being exchanged on the markets every single year. So that's all available to you, but it's going to come down to what you're willing to put into this. Okay. And it's going to take a commitment. It's going to take effort, right? And when I say commitment and effort, you really have to ask yourself the question of, how bad do I want this? Do I kind of want to be a successful trader, or am I willing to do whatever it takes? Am I willing to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and study before I go into work, which is what I did? Am I willing that once my kids are in bed, I'm going to stay up and I'm going to study charts and I'm going to take courses? Are you willing to do that? And I'm not saying that you have to put in a ton of time like I did, but it depends on what type of success that you want. And if you're in the position right now where you've been trading for an extended period of time and you're not profitable, then you need to ask yourself those tough questions. Look in the mirror and say, am I doing everything possible, everything within my control, everything in my power to become a profitable trader? And if you can genuinely look yourself in the face and say that you are, then you should feel at peace knowing that you're doing everything you can do. And if you are doing everything that you can do, and you've been doing it, let's say, for a couple of years and you're still not profitable, then maybe the harsh answer to your question is that trading is not for you. And that's going to happen at times. And, I'm not going to sit here and paint some fairy tale that trading is for everybody or that anybody can be successful trading, because that's not the case. Because not everybody has the makeup in order to be able to trade successfully. You have to be able to put the time in. You've got to be willing to deal with losses. You have to be patient, something I struggle with, I have to work on. But if you've been trying to do this for an extended period of time and you're losing money and you're putting lots of effort in, you're studying, you're working with coaches, and it's just not happening for you, then you may need to admit to yourself that this isn't for you. All right. And that's going to be some of your traders. Okay. What I have found through my experience in coaching traders and just me doing this, the people who have the most success are the people who are willing to work their face off. They're not afraid of hard work. They're not afraid to study. They're not afraid to put in the time, and they're not afraid to lose. They're willing to take the risk, right? A controlled risk, obviously, with your stop loss. But those people who have that type of mentality, they don't have a victim mindset, say, oh, well, it's the fault, this stock went against me, or, I'm using a funded account. That's why. No, that's an excuse. All right. You're in control. You're responsible. And you need to be doing everything that you can in your power in order to be a successful trader. And the freedom, the lifestyle that you get from trading, it's amazing. But again, there's sacrifices that have to be made in order to make that happen, right? And that's just the 100% truth. And if you're not putting in the time, if you're not working hard, it's not going to happen for you. It's just not. And so the question, how long does it take? It's up to you. Ultimately, it's up to you. If you're willing to work hard, if you're willing to study, you can accelerate that process. You can. I did it. Right. But I'm not saying that everybody's me there. And I'm not even the best trader. There are traders out there that will crush me. Right. But I'm conservative in my approach. When the market pays me, I take the money. Right. And I study and I practice. But if you're willing to put that time in, you can accelerate the process. You can make it happen. But if you're not willing to make those sacrifices, it's not going to happen for you. It's just not. And we need to be honest with each other whenever we discuss this, but really it comes down to you. So the next time you're thinking about that question is, how long is it going to take me to be profitable? What's the time frame? Because I remember asking my coach that and talking to people like, how long is it going to take me to be profitable? And I would hate the answer because, well, it's going to take some time. I remember the answer that I got is it takes about 6 years for you to really understand everything and for everything to click. And I was like, man, I can't wait in 6 years. Right. And it didn't take me 6 years. But the thing is, if you put everything into this, everything that you are into this, you can make it a reality. And if you do anything today, because you're obviously a trader and investor, if you're watching this, I want you to look in the mirror and ask yourself that question. Can I honestly sit here and say, I'm doing everything in my power to be profitable? Ask yourself that question and be honest in your response. And that might give you some clarity in terms of what the next steps are in order for you to become profitable. Okay. So how long does it take? If you would ask me that question, if I see you in person, you know what I'm going to respond. It's up to you. So that's our topic for today. And now it's time for our Roku case study. So let me get that set up on the screen. Let's come over to it. Roku. And let's see how Mr. Roku is doing today. All right. So this is a 3-minute chart. I'm going to come over here to the daily Roku right here. And let's see. So we're still down here, folks, right? I talked about last week how we are in this downtrend and we bounced off this trend line that was established back in 2022. We hit it again October 2023, not too long ago. And then after that gap down in earnings, we bounced off it. And you could see that right now we have made a little bit higher of a move than we did last week. So we got up into that 64, 65 range. And this black line on my screen, this is known as the 10-day exponential moving average. Okay, so this is just an average price. And you could see that Roku has been pushing up above it, but notice these upper wicks here, these long upper wicks. This indicates that there's still selling pressure. So this tells us that there are bears sitting right in this price territory. And every time Roku gets in there, the bears are pushing it down. Okay. So we know that the bears are still active in this, even though it's come down as much as it has. It's oversold. That's what this area means down here. This is the relative strength index. But it is encouraging to see that it is slowly coming higher and it is pushing into these areas. What we want to see is one of these candles close above this 10-day moving average. And that would give us some strength to say that, hey, there's an opportunity for us to push higher. And if you look here, I have this box. This is a gap that exists between the prices of 71.07 down to 68.34. So if it could get up into this area, it could potentially fill this gap up to 71, and that could trigger a greater movement higher, because you could see above that, the next moving average that's going to be in our way as a resistance is this 50-day exponential moving average at $77. So the progress here on Roku is slow, right? If we look at this on a weekly chart, kind of the same thing. We're just hanging out down here on this trend line, but we're going to keep watching it. We have plenty of time here. And if we just look at some of the headlines here, Roku stock dips while stock market gains. Roku and two other stocks, insiders are selling. Roku insider sold, shares worth 270,000. Roku stock falls. Roku's new update leaves users locked out until they agree to dispute terms. So all the headlines are negative on Roku, but we're just testing a theory, a hypothesis here. The fact that Roku has hit this area before, has recovered and bounced. And we're going to see if that happens here. So that's the purpose of this case study. So we'll be back here next week. And again, we're just looking at where we are right now, the current price with an hour and 13 minutes left in regular market hours. We're at $64.55. We'll see where it ends up next week. So that's it. That is episode 10 of the Traders Podcast. I'm very thankful that you joined me here today. I hope you got something beneficial from this. Enjoyed doing the question segment with you, talking about how long it will take, doing the Roku case study. And again, I get to live my dream every day being a trader, making this podcast. This is just for fun for me. I love doing it. So hopefully you're getting some value out of this. And I'm going to give a shout out to, I'm going to start doing a shout out to a trader friend every episode. So I'm going to give a shout out to Newsome on this one. Jeremy, I hope you are doing great, man. It's been a while. I haven't talked to you. Miss you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Wish you nothing but success. And with that said, everybody, don't forget, I'm going to be teaching that options course coming up in April. If you're interested in signing up, the information will be in the show notes. And I will see you back here for episode number 11 of the Traders Podcast. Take care, everyone, and have a great day.